Welcome, everyone. Dave, want to start us off?
Troy, I was thinking, watching Manny Peltola at Wembley. Uh, I see. I think Matai might have his braces off, but can you just young players being put in situations not only with your club and how you've employed them, but you see a Manny Peltola at Wembley, and these are young players. Can you just comment on that?
Yeah, I think the young players in our team have stepped up, certainly for us this year, in a big way. But then when you see someone like Matty, who's still only 22 years old, going and playing 2 matches this past week, 90 minutes versus Greece, 90 minutes versus England, I mean, it's a big deal for him and our club. It's something that we feel like we're a part of his development process. But many guys have stepped up this year. Gabby's a good example of that. Gabby's scored some goals lately, and again, he's still a young player, 21, 22 years old. Koo, Matai, Jackson, Fletch whenever he was here. I mean, Jacob Merle has had some great minutes this year. There's just so many guys that have gained a lot of experience. I think about Garrison Tubbs and the way he played this past weekend in a big result for us at Chicago. It's going to benefit this club, not just for the 2024 season, but for many years to come. And we're excited about not only this wave of young players. I think we're top 2 or 3 in the league in terms of players under 22 that play significant minutes. But it's we're also looking at that next wave, that next generation of talent, and a lot of those academy players that are trending in the right direction for us are starting to join training, and that type of integration is something that we're going to always look for. We're going to scout it. We're also going to promote from within.
Why do you think they've done so well? You just listed a whole number of players. Is it comfort in what they know they have to do, and so they're kind of free to play, or just your thoughts on that? Doesn't happen with that size of class of players that just step right in.
Yeah, I mean, first, the credit has to be given for the academy products that I think that our academy system has produced players, in the last 5, 6, 7 years in a big way. But also the credit has to go to our scouting department, and then ultimately the players. The players, when they have an opportunity, and I think that's a big part of it. This year, many of those players in the first team have gotten opportunities, and they've made the most of those opportunities whenever they've stepped into it. It hasn't always been perfect. Sometimes the result for the team has not been what we want. But they've been able to learn lessons. And again, if I think about someone like Garrison Tubbs, his last start was at Orlando, and that was a hard match for him, and he learned lessons and he grew through that, and then he starts and he's able to contribute in a big way this past weekend. So it's up to the individual to take advantage of the opportunities in front of them.
Bruce? Hey, Troy. There was a time this year where either through suspension or through injury, we didn't have a lot of defensive options, and now it seems like we have this incredible ability. Now we can go to a 3-5-2, we can go 5 at the back. How important is it to be able to have those multiple, especially in the middle of a game when you need to try and switch into a different combo to think?
Yeah, just getting healthy for us it really can't be understated how important it is. I think every single club in the MLS faces this type of challenge. For us, not having a second team right now, the challenge is a little bit different, right? So we can't just bring guys up from that second team. So, but every team faces that challenge, and then they have to figure out how they're going to deal with it, how they're going to overcome it. And we haven't put a lot of energy into using any of the lack of availability in players or injuries as an excuse. And again, that kind of goes in line with Dave's question. Some guys have stepped up and they've had to play different positions. So then you get to see them, someone like Christian Dahome or Jared Stroud sometimes has to play a little bit out of position, or Matty Peltola. That's going to benefit from being a little bit more flexible, a little bit more versatile, and so you can see us go between systems and have no problem. And that's something we're going to need to be able to do, and probably this weekend. Sometimes it can look one way in a certain phase of the game, and then sometimes it can look a little bit different, and that's a power of ours.
Great, thanks. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next we go to Gio.
Hey, Coach. Pretty much wanted to ask you, back-to-back wins. How do you balance the day-to-day and just taking it one game at a time, but also trying to make that playoff run and holding that last spot right now?
Yeah, the performances, it's great that we have results in the last two matches, wins in the last two matches, but I think the performances over the last 7 or 8 matches is, even in results where we drop some points, the performances have been there. And so for us, if we can have another good performance against New York City this weekend, we're going to give ourselves a chance to pick up points. That's really what we're focused on. We know that there's a finite amount of games left in the season. You know, we're at 6 right now, and after New York City, we go down to 5. So it's getting tight, and we're in that final playoff position right now. But our goal is, if we have the performances and in the right way, then we're going to be able to stay above the line and push to accomplish something in 2024.
And Coach, also about this Saturday being the Hispanic Heritage Night and game at Audi Field. It's such a big part of the DC United fan base, right? When they get to Audi Field and some of the players as well. What does it mean to have that support and also to have a night just celebrating that heritage?
Yeah, I love the celebration of this heritage. I mean, I think this has been something that's been a part of the club since I can remember, RFK days, in terms of not only the players that have been involved in this club, Marco Echeverri, Jaime Moreno, Raul Diaz-Arce. I mean, these are legends that, should be celebrated, but also celebrating our community that supports us, and that community is very strong. I think, it's seeing someone like Aaron Herrera and the support that he gets, that's a big tie to the community. And this is something that for our players, I know will mean a lot on the night, and for us to be able to celebrate it and dedicate an entire night to it, I think that speaks a lot from the club standpoint about how important it is to us.
Thank you. Now we'll take some from Zoom, Matt.
We're going to Byron Kirk.
Hey, Coach, thank you for your time again this week. You mentioned so much about the young guys. What about Matty Click and a couple of assists in the match? And what have you seen from his game this year as he kind of evolves as a veteran?
Yeah, I mean, Matty Click's someone that I talk to a lot. I ask him his opinion a lot about the game, about the team, just things that he's able to see. I mean, he's a very smart individual. He's a cerebral player. I mean, he sees things on the field that other players don't see. And what I'm happy about is his contribution this year has been one that we're seeing a lot more, especially in the last couple of weeks. I know he has a couple of assists on the weekend, but I think he's getting up there now with 11 assists maybe on the year. And he's usually at the heart of a lot of the plays that develop for us to score goals, whether it's set piece moments or in the run of play. Even if he's not providing the final pass, he's usually setting it up just prior. And he's someone that I've enjoyed working with. I mean, he's a wonderful character every single day. He brings life to the locker room. And those are the type of guys that you want to be on your team.
You said you talk to him a lot. Do you see him and his teammates? Do you see him talking to his teammates, helping them out in practice and games as well?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's at the heartbeat of a lot of the conversations that happen. And again, he's a personality, so he's not afraid to challenge guys in his own way. And again, that's something that a coach needs in a team.
Thanks for your time.
Just a quick thumbnail on New York City. What's on the radar there?
Yeah, from my standpoint, it was one of our most difficult challenges throughout the entire season. We were down some numbers in this match back in April, but it had nothing to do with maybe who wasn't available. It had everything to do with what New York City was able to put together on the night against us. And they ended up, after that, I think they strung together a number of wins in a row. And it's because they're well coached. They understand their style of play very clearly. They have talented individual players that can execute at the right time. And, I think they're a really formidable opponent that we're going to have to be very well prepared for to be able to take anything off of them.